Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Cuda Education. Today, we are going to do a quick episode on light culling, and this is going to be a quick video. Don't want to get too in depth today. Just want to show one or two things and be done with it. I will work on it some more and create some more interesting stuff. But what I wanted to go through today is talk about pretty much the idea of light culling. Okay, so um, what happens is that for each pixel in the scene, we sort of have to decide. We have to decide, which lights affect or would affect this pixel, right? So the pixel right here, obviously, this light would affect the pixel right here. But like this light over here might not affect the pixel right here, or these lights all the way down here would not necessarily affect the pixel right here, right? So this is a concept called light culling, where basically you are, for any given pixel, you are only considering lights that are nearby would um, that would affect that particular pixel, right? You're not gonna, for this one pixel here, you're gonna start processing and running through all the different lights in the scene, because remember now, it's not just these lights here, it's those lights down the road here, all those lights in the back, lights behind me, everything, right? So this concept of light culling, right? This concept of light culling is, we have a pixel right here, and what we're only going to consider, we're only going to consider lights around it that might affect it, right? So this helps save on processing. We're not looping through all the lights to see which lights affect this pixel. We kind of know, what lights are nearby, and we take those lights into account, and we don't really consider the other lights, right? This is similar to, in my previous videos, in my previous episodes, we talked about axis aligned bounding boxes. This is especially in the Vulkan conversation. We talked about axis aligned bounding boxes, and in the discussion of ray tracing and ray traversal, right? So, you figure out which lights, which things would intersect the bounding box, and if it doesn't intersect the bigger bounding box or the bounding box, then you don't consider processing the objects inside or anything like that. Similar situation here. So anyway, for this episode, what I want to do is, we're going to disable the light count, right? So we're going to completely disable the light count. So there's no um, gets the point and spotlight count, filters the count based on the current debug state, right? So we're not even going to get a light count. We're just going to return zero when we do that, right? So I just return zero. I notice here I get a flag saying code will never be executed, and that's correct, because right here I'm just going to return immediately with, there are no lights around, there's nothing going on, and when we run it, we basically get um, no lights cast. Now the lights are still there, the bulbs are still there, right? The bulbs are still there, but notice that there's no light casting, right? There's no light being cast around these bulbs or anything. It's just basically a bright dot, or a bright assembly of lights, a bright assembly of pixels, right? But there's nothing being cast to from those lights, especially with our one here over the plant. we don't see anything, right? And this is all part of the light culling situation. Now there's also a thing where we do the opposite, where we process all lights for all pixels, right? And I have to spend some time on getting that sorted out, where we process all lights for all pixels. And what is supposed to happen is that we are supposed to get um, um, we're supposed to get frame rate degradation, right? So the frame rate is going to drop. The frame rate is going to drop precipitously because now we're processing all lights for all pixels, no matter where the pixel is, or where the scene is, or whatever. So with this now, for this pixel, we're saying, okay, this light is right here, and the light is casting it's casting its light over the air, and this is related also to the volumetric scattering and all that stuff, right? But it's now casting its light over the region, if you will, right? And it has something to do with indices, light indices, and all this stuff. I'll get into it deeper, but I just wanted to at least start the conversation now about this scene. So we have this, we have this light, and it's being processed for all the pixels that are within the region, including the pixels in the air, because as you could see here, you could see the fog, right? So the fog is moving from here where it's lit, then it's sort of not lit, right? It's lit, then it's not lit, and then it's lit again as it goes across the road, or the scene, right? So this is the light culling and light, but what has to happen is that we have to get a count, gets the point and spotlight count, filters the count based on the current debug state, right?